Hello everybody, this is Sandy from your Railroads Online team. I hope you're all doing fine. So it has been a while since the last update and we're happy that today we can announce the map update that was usually planned in March. Well, now we have end of May, but yeah, finally it's finished. And our spline update and some bug fixes, and I will also give you a short outlook of what is coming next and how the timeline was adapted. So let's start with the mini and the maxi map. I already showed in a video before, I guess in the Q&A video, the functionality of the mini map and also a little bit about the maxi map. So the mini map will be shown now in the right corner of the screen, and you will see there everything that is on your map, like tracks, trains, switches, industries, facilities, so everything that is shown. You also see the geographic orientation, so if you move around, whether you turn to north, to the south, whatever, you see the correct orientation. When you drive with the locomotive, so as soon as you enter in the F menu, the mini-map will jump a little bit upwards. Let's go forward. Then you see your train moving. And what is a really nice feature of the mini-map and also of the maxi-map, I will show you later, is that you can toggle the switches here. So, of course, as it's the mini-map, you might have to go a little bit slower when you come close to the switches, because otherwise you might pass it. But you can operate it here if you want. You open the maxi map with button M. So the old map was replaced. Now if you hit the key M, this map will open up. And we decided to add on zoom level 0, which is really the first level, what you see. Only the industries and the telegraph offices. So usually this is, and also the player icon, yeah. So this is showing the same information like the old map did, just instead of text you now see icons. So you will become used to it. At the beginning it's of course looking different. Also orientation is turned around, so north is really north now. And if you hover over the things, you see the industries information, so what's in it, what output is in it, and you can also hover over the telegraph offices and teleport with them. See, I teleported now here. So my map is only a test map, so there's not a lot of track around, but let's teleport back. So still a little loading bug. Teleport back to the sawmill where I've been before. And there my train is already waiting for me. Then you can zoom in by using the mouse wheel. By zooming in, you then will see more information or more things like the locomotives and the cars. So we decided to not show it on zoom level 0 because this might be too full and too small then. So you just see, like here, zoom level 1 is already really small. You just see black points then, and it doesn't make that much sense to have it shown already here. So we decided to show it just on zoom level 1. As you can see, the zoom goes there where I center my cursor, more or less. It's just jumping a little bit around, but if I want to go here, it goes there fine. Or if I want to go here, yeah, it's still not centering completely correctly. We still have to work a little bit over it, but it goes in the direction where you want to zoom in. And then you just hit the left mouse button and then you can move around on the map. So this is zoom level 1, and the more you zoom in, the bigger the icons become. When you hover over the locomotives or over the cars, you also see the names. You see the type of the locomotive or the car, and underneath it's written what name you gave it and which number you gave it. If you hover over the cars, you also see what they have loaded, how many pieces. You see the name of the car and you see also the number you gave it. And what is really nice, you can toggle all the switches all over the map. And the green line will show you in which direction the switch is going. So before starting or also while driving, so this, you can also open the map while you're in the driving UI or while you're driving the locomotive, you can toggle the switches and just make sure you're going in the right direction. Then you have a legend on the right side. Let's zoom out. Like for example, topographic map. If you don't want it, just toggle it and it's hidden. Or it's showing again. The same with all the facilities, with all the industries. So if you don't want to see them, just turn them off, turn them on. In multiplayer, you will see the player icon in a different color. So now I'm playing all alone. It's only showing me. But if you're playing with friends together, you have like a blue one or red one, whatever, how many people are playing. And then you see also where your friends are. You also have the possibility to set kind of a marker, so your friends with whom you are playing will see that where you placed it, and you can use it for either showing them a special location or telling them, hey, come all here. This is set by clicking the right mouse button. Also, other people can set this marker, so they will be shown in their player color then. So if your friend has color blue, his marker will be also blue, and if he tells you, hey, I found a cool spot here, let's build a track here, or let's whatever, build a town here, he just sets the marker and then you can go over there and have a look. So that's just kind of showing a special place to somebody. Player icon itself is always orientated in the direction where you're looking at. So if I turn around, it's also turned around. And if you had the zoom level 5, for example, or the last one, and you close the map and you open it again, it goes automatically there where you have been before. And bridges are shown with a little, I guess it's a brown line. So this is showing a bridge. Usual track is just shown as a black line. And also bumpers and everything I don't have on this map. I guess I don't have bumpers. No. Bumpers are also shown, like crossovers and switches and turntables. So everything is shown, but you will see them when you try it the first time. So now all the cars look the same, but we are still planning to add more different icons for the cars, for the car types. So this will be done later. Not right now, but I guess either with the next update or with the update afterwards. So there are still some minor adjustments we will make, but for now the functionality is working well, and I guess it's a big help for the players to see all the tracks and to operate things from this map. So let me check if something is missing. Yeah, as said. Also, when you are in the driving menu and driving around, you can also open the map. Let's check if the switches are set correctly. No, that would make me derail. All right. Okay, let's go. Now you see your train moving, of course, on the mini-map. Also, if you open the maxi map, you can see it moving around here. Yeah, in case you want to go that way, just toggle that switch and make it turn in the other direction. Alright, that's it from the map update. Goku now will show you our spline update and all the new features, and talk a little bit about the bug fixes, and afterwards I still will tell you something about our change timeline and about the upcoming updates. So see you later.
Hello, is this thing on? Hi everybody, how's it going? Goku here. Today I am here to talk about the spline update and some bug fixes that we have worked on. So let's go ahead and get started with it, shall we? Okay, so first things first, let's go over the spline update. So in this spline update, we added some changes to the spline system. So let me find a good spot here. So I made some changes to the freehand system, and now the freehand system allows you to, so if you place a track down, right, so you place your track and you've got it, you know, you make sure you're in freehand mode, it's F5, you can now freely move around where you'd like your track to go. And it also auto updates to the grades or the like curve of the map or whatever your inclines are. So this does allow for some pretty steep grade creations in freehand mode, as you can see here at a 14.7% grade. Click it down, track sits nice and snug up against the ground, and then you can also link off of it and do the same thing until you get to the top. You can continue your curve. You can, there we go. Yeah, you can continue your curve up, and it will do its best to try and follow the curvature of the hillside or whatever you're trying to like climb. But just know it will create some intense like grades, so it will cause some crazy grades if that's what you're into. Yeah. So next up is the, we added the ability to show direction, which way the splines are being placed. So you can see here that we've got this green arrow, which indicates the track incline. So green is good. It will go up to red, as you can see here. Or I'm sorry, orange for medium grade. And then red if you do, oh my goodness, this thing is ridiculous. And it will go up to red if you do a steep grade, steeper than 10%. So let's try to get it red. So if you do this, you will see that the grade is, or the spline arrow had turned red. Yep. So just like that. And you can follow the hillside if you wanted to, but again, you run the risk of creating some intense grades if you do it this way. You can, however, still use the old spline system that we had previously. So you place your track down, hit 5 on the keypad, and you are back into your precise mode, which allows you to adjust your grades and things like that. So yeah, you can go back to your original grade system, create your splines that way. You also get the ability of the green arrows and the green like highlighted track. So we, like you had seen there, we had added a color system to the splines as well. Green says you can place them. Reds, you cannot place them as you're too high above the ground, or you are laying them in a hill and track that would disappear underneath the ground. If you try to lay this track, an error message will pop up. So let's go ahead and do that again. So if you try to hit 5 and you create a grade like this, for example, you now get a tooltip icon that pops up that says, this selected track type is too far above the ground, adjust your routing or change track types. To lay a perfectly straight track in freehand mode, you place your track down, make sure you're in freehand, hold down the control button, and it locks it to a straight track piece. So as you can see here, not straight, hold down control, straight track, and you can lay perfectly straight track that way. Alright, and like I said before, precision mode is not changed, so if this is the mode you're familiar with building, you lay down your track, press 5, and you have your ability to continue to lay track as normal, and that is currently already in the game. You'll just get the enhancements of colored track and the directional arrow. All right. And as well as the warning systems applied to this. Okay, so let's go over here. I've got some track pieces laid out that I wanted to test a new feature on. So we have recently added the ability to create parallel track. So to access this mode, you would hold down middle mouse button, and it's up here where it's got the like line and then the dotted line. That's our parallel track mode. You'll get a tooltip that says choose a track type that you want to copy. Click, left click it, and then it automatically copies it, place it over, click again. You can do this as many times as you like. Okay. And so it makes really nice parallel straight track for people building yards or that want to create double main lines. Now, curved track will adjust the grade, or not adjust the grade, adjust the curvature based off of which direction you're going. If you're going inward, which in our case is to the right, it will increase the radius or decrease the radius to become smaller to give it a better curve. And you do have to be careful with this because you can create curves steeper than 30 meters. So just be wary of that. And then as for like going out to the left, you will create a wider curve that will allow for you to create parallel tracks. And then over here, I've got a 30-meter curve. So copy tool. You can see the curve is shrunk and shrinking down to nothing. And then wide curve, see it growing in size. Just like that. Really easy. And you can duplicate just about everything. Switches, you can duplicate as well. So if you're into that, you can totally do that if you'd like. Crossovers can also be duplicated. So if you're creating crossovers. Oh, and I should also show you that if you're connecting track, all you do is you just lined up your endpoints as such, and then they will be automatically connected together. So you don't have to worry about putting pieces in between to connect them. They will auto connect. The things that cannot be duplicated are the turntables. You cannot duplicate turntables. You can duplicate ballast. So you place down your ballast. Duplicate track. Dupe. What else can we not dupe? You can dupe bridges. So duplicate track tool, and you can dupe your bridges as you see fit. So yeah, it's a pretty neat feature. It's going to make building yards 10 times faster, building double mains, and not having to worry about lining them up so much better. I highly enjoyed this new ability. We also added another new quality of life feature. Something that has been asked for quite a long time, the ability to snap objects to the sides of track. So we have the sand house here. You can now see that we are locked to the rail side here. And if we look away from the track, we can continue to place it freehand mode as the current system. But as soon as we look at the track, it snaps. Well, what if we want it on the other side? Just rotate it. Rotate it around. You're snapped in, still snapped to the track side. Place it down. You are good to go. We did this for everything. So our trusty dusty coal tower can now be snapped track side. Place it freehand, or you can place it track side. And all of this stuff is perfectly lined up with the sides of the track, so you don't have to worry about missing your dump point, missing where cars and stuff will like unload into cars, water, things like that. Also show you the water towers. Water towers, same way, just to make sure your rotations are nice. And you can place it down, snaps trackside. Perfect, wonderful tool. What else snaps us in here? We have firewood facility. Firewood facility will snap on the log unload side only, or the wood side. There's a drop-off side only. So If you want to place it freehand, you totally can. It will snap track side, but on the unload only, because we felt that you would use the unload side more than you would needed to just logs. Log side, you can just drop a piece of track down and call it a day. As to where this, it gives you the correct distance away. All right. Okay, so like you had seen, you now get put into fly mode with industry or facility placements. So if you're going to be placing facilities, you automatically get popped up in the air. Yeah. All right, so I have another really cool thing to show you guys. Let's go down here to our sawmill. Now we added a really cool feature. We'll go over to the load side real quick and I'll show you guys. We added another cool feature that is going to be a nice quality of life for players that struggle with this. The ability to link track to the facility side. So pull out our track tool, grab a piece of track. You see there's a snap point here, click it, and you can run it down all the way to the end or to each individual snap point. But we're just going to drag all the way to the end, snap, and you are perfectly aligned to where the cranes are. So you no longer have to worry about eyeballing unload sides. We also added this to the drop-off side as well. My sawmill is a little sunk into the ground, so it's a little harder to see the links, but you can see right there that there's a link right there in the ground. So I click it, get my snap point, click and drag all the way to the other side, snap point, perfectly lined for the drop off. So you will not run the risk of losing freight because you dropped it into a space that didn't count for the unload side, and then for the loading side you won't have to worry about losing your cars anymore, or like the crane's not activating or whatever, and then you're like, well, what the heck, I think I'm lined up. This will help out quite a bit. Okay, so we also added a warning system at industries. So for example, let's say you have this flat car here, this logging flat car, and you're new to the game and you don't know that certain cars load certain goods. When you bring this car here and you're like, okay, I'm ready to load up on beams, if you click the crane, you'll get a warning that says the loading process cannot be started. This freight car cannot carry this freight type. So you now get a warning pop up if you have the incorrect car at the incorrect facility. You get a warning if the industry is empty, and then you can continue to load as normal with the correct cars. If you're too far away, you'll get a warning saying that you're too far away from the crane. This crane cannot be activated. If you're too close, you'll get a warning that says you are too close to this crane. This crane cannot be activated. So some other warnings you'll get: the process can't be started, storage is empty. So if you have no goods, no freight car available, freight car may be too close or too far away from the loading point, the freight car cannot carry this freight type, or this freight car is full. So if you have a loaded car like we do here, click your crane, it says this car is full, you can't load it. All right. So we also made some changes to the re-rail system. So re-railing, before, you used to be able to pop the cars up into the air, they would fall down, some physics things would happen, they would roll away, or they would get locked in the air with brakes on. Now we added the ability to use a precision arrow to allow you to place cars down. So it added a color system: green, you're good; red, bad; red, you're not good. So here, where it says red, it says this vehicle can't be re-railed here. There's too little space. Try different location. You're like, oh shoot, there must be something obstructing here. I must be too close to a car, too close to a facility, something like that. Once it's green, you see the green arrow. You're like, okay, cool. Click, and drops the car right where you want it. And it will continue to hold that car, so if you make a re-railing mistake, you can just plop it down wherever you like. So, all right, so that was it for my part on the spline update. So let's do another overview. We added the ability to have a better freehand system, allows you to create track freely without needing to set grades or curves. You can do this by just moving your mouse around. And to add to that note, again, just want to make sure that we are covering all of our bases, that you can create splines steeper than 10% if you choose in the freehand mode. That's totally up to you. You can create shallow grades, steep grades, whatever you want to do for your railroads. Totally up to you. We added the ability to snap facilities trackside. This is every facility type except for the engine shed and roundhouse. You can snap the log loading side on the firewood depot. Coal tower snaps. Added the ability for links at industries, so when you're placing tracks down at the industries, you now have the ability to create a track right next to the industry that is the perfect distance away from the crane and or unloading side. And then we changed the reroll system, added warning systems to the game now to tell you if something you're doing is incorrect or if there's an issue with something, it'll pop up with a warning. And then we also made some minor adjustments. So we made some bug fixes. Brakes no longer apply at 100%. So like the current brake bug has been resolved. Trains will no longer stop dead in their tracks, causing derailments. We fixed an issue with the brakes that were causing fatal errors. So the fatal errors no longer pop up, and we hope we have cleared out most of the fatal error issues that have been happening on the current beta branch of the game. For my time playing this current build of the game, I haven't had a single crash outside of when we were testing changes to brakes, but other than that, no issues. And then the brakes again are back to normal, like I said before. So yeah, I should also note that we did fix a issue that was causing track splines to be off-centered on their endpoints. So before, they would be like ever so slightly off, and it may have caused some derailment issues for some players. So now we have adjusted that, so now they actually line up nicely, and you can no longer have a derailment issue with splines. All right, well, that's it for my part. Not too long today. We went over everything. We hope that these features are a nice quality of life for you guys, and we are excited to release this to you here in a few days. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful time. It is currently 9:30 p.m. for me, so I have to get to bed here soon. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time. And Sandy will be back here shortly to give you a outlook of what is coming next and tell you stuff about our changed timeline. All right, see you guys later.
So we had to change our timelines for the next updates a little bit because we were in delay with the last update, and we also had some issues with the bugs. We had the crashing bugs, so we solved all of them, we hope. And yeah, this pushed us a little bit backwards, and that's why we had to postpone some updates. So like said, this update now will include the Map and the Spline update, and it will be released on beta next Monday. And if everything runs fine and there are no bigger bugs anymore, or no game crashing bugs, we will also release it on the main branch then a week later, maybe at the beginning of June. And then we have planned the loading screen and the rights and alerts update still coming in more or less July, I guess. So it's set in Q3, but I guess it's more or less dated for July. It will have the improved loading screens and the player rights management and the gameplay alerts. It's for the multiplayer. So it hopefully also contains more multiplayer improvements and fixes. We know that there still are issues and we're still working on it. So that's, like said before, it's still one of our highest priorities, but it's a really tough task. So yeah. So we're still working on it, and hopefully we can provide improvements with this update in July then. Also performance updates. We made already some improvements on our other branch, but there we had some other issues then, so we couldn't implement this performance fix in this update yet. But we are on a good way, and hopefully can then release the performance update with the next update. But I cannot promise anything yet, so I just want you to know we're working on it and we know the priority of it and the importance of it, but we cannot promise yet if it will be implemented then with the next update. But we try our best, of course. And then we will have a bigger break of updates, because then we are really looking on bug fixes and QL improvements, and we're working on the UI update. So UI update was planned also to be released a little bit earlier, but also there we had some delays, and it's a really, really huge task because the entire UI will be overhauled. So all menus, the buy menu, construction menu, the gameplay menu, everything. And it's a real big change, and that's why it took a little bit longer. And we said, okay, just let's finish it, and then we will focus on the bug fixes and the QL improvements. Then we put everything together and we'll release it only in Q4. So this might be either September or October. No, it's October already, yeah. Might be October, so yeah. Between July and October there might not be that much updates. Maybe a little bit content things, let's see, or if we have some bug fixes ready, maybe we can push them earlier, but bigger updates are not planned in this time. And yeah, then we already plan our full release for the PC version for Q4. And yeah, for then we should have all the bigger issues fixed, like performance issue, multiplayer issues, the bugs that we still have, and the QL improvements. We already added a lot, but there are still a long list of things that could work better or more smooth, and we focus on them now, and we'll try to implement as much as possible for the full release planned for Q4. All right. So that was it from my side. I hope you enjoyed the devlog, and I hope you will enjoy the new features and the QL updates we already implemented. And yeah, write your thoughts underneath our devlog or in Discord. All the links are in the description below to our Discord or to the Trello roadmap. And if you have any questions, just post them here in Steam or in Discord. So have a great time and enjoy the update, and hear you soon. Bye bye.
Railroads Online. Take your train. Now available in Steam Early Access.